The United States aids Ukraine and her people so that we can fight Russia over there and we don't have to fight Russia here.
That's Adam Schiff 2 years ago making it plain that the U.S. is using Ukraine to, quote, fight Russia over there.
Yeah.
And so my point is, if you don't want Russia to fight Ukraine, don't use Ukraine to fight Russia. And that's what the U.S. has been doing for the last 8 years, of essentially using Ukraine as cannon fodder in this bid to encircle Russia with offensive weaponry and a hostile military alliance in the form of NATO. And this is we're now getting Russia's response, and it's awful, and it should be opposed. And the best way to oppose it is to demand that the U.S., the government that we have influence over, abandon this bid to use Ukraine as a proxy state on Russia's border, because it's been obvious for a long time that it's insane, and it's already for all the civilian suffering that we're about to see in Ukraine. There's already been so much civilian suffering in the rebel-held areas of Ukraine especially. And now the rest of Ukraine is going to start to experience that too, and it's terrible. And we should, if we don't want to see any more suffering, we should demand a halt to this NATO expansion bid right now. But going back to Sunday news shows, that thought can't be entertained, and it's presumed that we have the right to be using Ukrainians as cannon fodder. And the question is, are we sending in enough weapons or not? That's the only issue that's allowed to be debated.
And of course, not to say the obvious, but what Schiff is doing is admitting just full-throatedly that this is a proxy war.
He says we're fighting them. He says we're using Ukraine to fight Russia over there. I mean, it's the most concise expression of the U.S. policy that I can think of. And he said it when he said it at the time, it was during Trump's first impeachment. This speech was widely hailed as this noble defense of U.S. democracy. What it actually was expressing a bipartisan point of view that we have the right to use Ukraine for a proxy war against Russia. And it's led to the moment we're in right now.